How was it getting together back with all the Cobra Kai guys and doing the music video?
Has anybody seen Sweep the Leg, the music video? Yeah, you should. Everybody take a break, get on your phones, watch it, and we'll resume in 7 minutes. Okay, wasn't that funny? That was great. The band came to me, a label came to me with this song called Sweep the Leg, and I didn't like it at first, and then the CEO, label owner, brought me out on his boat with his family and played Sweep the Leg, and I wanted to jump off into the sharks. I didn't like it, and I said, listen, and they wanted me to be in the video is how it happened, like we just jump around in a key. I said, no, but I said, let me write it and direct it, and if if I could come up with something great, then I'll do it. So wrote it, and then he approved it, and then one by one, I started making phone calls. I hadn't talked to Marty for a while. Brought Marty to coffee, showed him the treatment, he didn't quite get it. Kind of explained a little bit more, brought him to his car, opened up his car, put the song Sweep the Leg in, and he sat there with a cigar, lighting a cigar, and just hearing Sweep the Leg, he got a smile on his face, he said he's in, and then I have speed dial and all the rest of the Cobra Kais. I just told him where to be. They had no questions. Bigger headband. Where it went, bigger headbands. Then I called Ralph, and he was in New York and wasn't able to come out for the original shoot. It was like a 2-day shoot, and it really should have taken 5. We had all kinds of special effects, wires, green screen. It was really quite a production for a music video. And at the very end, I got up to the point where I'm rollerblading and it went black, and then you heard a car screech, and that's when I sent it to Ralph, and I said, insert you here. And at that point, I think he felt like you're in safe. It was a safe type.
Yeah, no, it was great. I thought it came out great.
It was really fun.
I was, because at first you were talking about, oh, I want some scene where I'm flying out of the motorhome and you'll be waxing a car, and I was like, yeah, we gotta get better.
Right, and I got a guy that looked way better than you to do that anyway.
Yeah, that's right, for sure. And then what happened is, I said, well, why don't you cut it together and send it? I was just a little trepidatious about it. And then when I saw it, I was like, I'm in, just put me somewhere. Really did a great job. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't seen that, you guys got their homework. Sweep the leg and wax on, F off.
Back to back, you have homework. Go back tomorrow and tell me what you thought. Right over here.
Hi, my main question was, Karate Kids still to this day are a very resonant film series, especially with see now I'm nervous and can't talk. But I wanted to know if there were any moments that still kind of resonate to you today.
From the film itself, or from the
Yeah, from the film itself.
No, absolutely not.
I stand in front of my mirror 8 times a day and scream, "No mercy."
Sometimes I wake up and I'm on a motorcycle in my underwear with the skeleton makeup on and dolphin stuff. And I don't know how I got there.
Which really is the whole
The
point.
movie had no effect on us at all.
By the way,
No, that's not true.
I didn't do the show with Billy and Ralph because I was not available. I was doing Headless Horseman for Sleepy Hollow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is live. It was just a Headless Horseman.
The great thing about your career, Martin, is you've got all these amazing characters. You're not pigeonholed in any one role. You've got a career sweeping decades, which is amazing for a man of 35 like yourself. But to pull up IMDb, and then that's the one singular thing that, like Martin Coe, Karate Kid. For somebody who's had that solid of a career, to look at that and that was the thing that is the bullseye on the dartboard for you. And what's your reaction when people don't see you as the Headless Horseman, don't see you from Wyatt Earp, or don't see you from your amazing guest work?
You're spot on the level, though.
Interesting questions. I actually enjoy doing the comedic, vulnerable things, but one doesn't get a chance to do them in Hollywood because in Hollywood, what becomes commercial and successful is what people pigeonhole you to do. So you've got to work really hard, whether you do theater or whether you just do something that's important to you, And I don't know, I really enjoy period pieces. I mean, there are things like The Outlander and Game of Thrones and Penny Dreadful that I wish I could get on, It doesn't matter, but unfortunately they don't bring in very many Americans. But I really appreciate the historic shows that are on, and the good writing. Ever since we did Karate Kid, it was the writing that you paid attention to after that. And I've always said, and I always say to Billy, to Ralph, I think the star of that piece is Robert Kamen, the writer. You know, without wax on, wax off, which they use in retirement homes as an exercise for older people. They really do. They do. And Billy practices that because he never got a chance to do it.
Well, you were doing it when I picked you up from the retirement. That's kind of going while you got that.
This is why I sit between them.
So I'm going to pay for that one.
There won't be anything thrown at you at all. Right over here.
Hi, my question is for Ralph. I was wondering, what was harder to train for, Karate Kid or Dancing with the Stars?
Thank you. I would say harder to train for. I would say Dancing with the Stars by far. One, when I was training for Karate Kid, I was like, 30 years younger. And I was training in one form of martial arts, where Dancing with the Stars, every week you're going from tango to foxtrot to waltz to posse. Of all the dances, the least good one. My least favorite dance. Thank you. Just whip that girl.
Guys, you look like Travolta.
That clip, that's epic.
Okay, we can move on to the next question. How about that? Throw that Russian around.
Reggie, I owe you a beer.
All right.
Hi guys. Wow, it's so cool to talk to you guys. Karate Kid is one of my favorite movies. I saw it as a time as a kid where I was going through some actual bullying in school, and it kind of helped me to, not want to fight them in karate, but just to sort of learn to forget about them. And so I was surprised the other day going on YouTube and seeing this video that had gone viral called "Daniel is the Real Bully," and I saw the title and I was like, no way. And I wanted to know what your guys' take on that. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but
Yeah, I produced that. Did you guys like the title too much?
A little on the nose. It's trying to be subliminal.
Yeah,
I still say no.
Good
No
with the
way.
subtext.
I haven't seen it. Ralph, have you seen that? No, I've seen it.
He goes to bed watching that.
Listen, the 3 words. The truth hurts.
Is anything that can be done and said to keep the legacy of the movie going, I'm all for it. I think it's fun. I know Patton Oswalt used to do the Johnny Lawrence story. It is fun when you break down certain things. No kicks to the face. Okay, he wins with a kick to the face. It's like 10 rules that are broken. It's the power of suggestion.
But like the knee thing how did that not get a disqualification?
Yeah.
He just cracked his knee in half.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Now, what I liked about that video is the way the guy sort of calmly just talks through it like a documentary about, hunger or world peace. It's so serious. He's suspect with some of his points, but fun stuff.
The Loose Change video for the Karate Kid series. Right over here.
Well, I'm Dominic, and I'm wondering, what do you think of Johnny from The Outsiders? Susan Ralph.
What do I think of Johnny? Is one of my favorite roles, if not the favorite performance in my early career. The Outsiders holds a special place. I read that book when I was 12 years old. I got the opportunity to audition for it, and then Francis Ford Coppola, one of our greatest filmmakers of all time, directed that film, and the cast was second to none as far as starting many careers, one of which is C. Thomas Howell, who's here. So Ponyboy's in the house. And then Karate Kid came right after that. So it was a pretty good time.
Right back over here.
My question's for Billy. How was it like to work on the set of Psych as Coach Bad?
It was fun. It was fun. They said they were going to write me a part. James Roday, who was a director, he was the star of the show, was in touch with me during the season saying, well, we're going to get you on one of these episodes. I auditioned for like 3 or 4 of them and never got them. And then he called me up and goes, I promise you're going to do one of these episodes before you wrap and you're not going to have to audition again. So they call me and then he goes, we've got a great part for you. So I'm like, great, send me the script. Coach D-Bag. Perfect. So it was fun. Those guys are great. And I had a really good time on that show. It was fun to go up to Canada. I love that show. Rob was on it a couple of times.
Those guys are great.
Yeah,
those
really
guys are great.
One of the flicks that was at the Dallas International Film Festival, not this year but last year, is Chris Dowling's Where Hope Grows, originally called Produce, that you were also...
Say that again about? Oh yeah, it was here.
Yeah, it actually premiered here. Talk a little bit about that experience working with those guys. We had everybody else in the cast except for you. And they wouldn't tell you one story about you. I was very, very sad.
They wouldn't tell any stories about me?
No, they wouldn't tell any stories.
I won't even tell any stories about me. Where Hope Grows, did you guys anybody see that movie? That's just. It's about a boy with Down syndrome, and he brings kind of light to a town, and enlightens an ex-baseball player who's an alcoholic, and I played his best friend, who's also an alcoholic. It was an amazing shoot. It was really tender, and I talked to some really great actors, and movies on DVD now, so check it out. Where Hope Grows, and there's a behind the scenes on that, and I think I talk more on that. So let's stay on the Karate Kid.
Fine.
Add it to your homework list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, this question's for Ralph. I think you're amazing as Johnny in The Outsiders, and I was just wondering, was there anyone you were particularly intimidated working with in such an ensemble cast? I mean, you had Tom Cruise, C. Thomas Howell, Matt Dillon, all in their early days, and then who did you bond with the most on set?
That's a good question. I wasn't, as far as the cast, there was not much intimidation because we were all starting out. I think now it might be more intimidating. If anyone I was a little nervous working with was, who is the iconic director Francis Ford Coppola, who directed The Outsiders, and The Godfather, and Apocalypse Now, and The Conversation, and so many great films. So I was a little nervous and intimidated by that at first, but he made it very comfortable, created a very theatrical rehearsal process where we all worked together. I think that, I bonded with CT. We worked a lot together, but then we also got on each other's nerves as 2 kids would, working every single day, and we joke about it now. He's a good friend, and as time went on, I appreciated so much what we had together in that film. And I've stayed in touch with Matt Dillon, probably the most, and Rob Lowe, Emilio Estevez, and sadly Patrick Swayze we lost, but a great group, a great group, very special cast.
We have time for 2 more questions. We'll come over here for the first one.
Hi guys. Personally, I don't think Karate Kid should have ever been remade, but I was curious about what were y'all's thoughts?
Y'all's thoughts. I love that. I think we all feel kind of the same. I'll say this much: I think that the 2010 remake only enhanced the legacy of the film we made in 1983, 84. It also is a testament to how you could tell the exact same story but make a totally different movie. And I think that the magic and soul, and I use those words again, of the original film, and the fact that we have a room full 31 years later, I'm not so sure they're filling a room 30 years later after the remake. But I will say, for its time, it was an entertaining movie, because it's a very good story, for sure. But they were like doing kung fu. Right?
Yeah, there's a whole other world there. I think we were doing some interviews. We talked about this before, and I was doing some interviews on Fox Radio, and these commentators out in Los Angeles, they were very hostile, and they did not want to talk about that movie. And I said, gentlemen, it doesn't compete with our Karate Kid 1. It just pays homage to it. And they loved it, and it kind of removed the hostility, and then we just talked about the movie, from a controversial standpoint of, it missed in certain places, but it was a very good movie, and it made a lot of money, and basically. And Will Smith was we all went to the premiere, and he was very conscious of doing research on our carriages, and he was very concerned about what we thought of the movie that night.
He said, actually, true story, I said, backstage he introduced us to Jaden and he said, just want you to know, we love the original movie, we're just paying homage and respect to it, and we're not trying to take anything away. I said, I get it, I'm doing the exact same thing with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I'm not gonna rip anything off, it's an homage. Say that, we laugh, we had a good time with it.
And you have our final question of the day.
Hi, so I was wondering if any of you on the panel played any instruments.
Yes, I play handbone. I play guitar too. That's a cool question. You play an instrument?
Yeah, I play 6 actually.
What? You play 6 instruments?
Yeah.
What do you play?
I play guitar, drums, harmonica, ukulele. I play. I can't think of the others.
Just say guitar and drums again. You got all of them.
You are the band, man.
Wow. All at the same time, or?
I can probably play guitar and harmonica at the same time.
That's awesome, buddy.
Dylan, you are School of Rock.
How old are you?
I am 10 years old.
That's awesome.
That's great, man.
You blow the shofar too?
No.
All right.
I play a little guitar. I did a movie called Crossroads that I had to fake it. I really down south. And a little bit of piano. I would love to play drums.
I actually went to music school and got a degree in guitar. So we're right on. And here's a cool guitar story for you. I'm just gonna brag a little bit. Last weekend I went and saw Van Halen at the Hollywood Bowl. And a good friend of mine happened to marry Eddie. I can't believe I tell this story. Anyway, I got to meet Eddie Van Halen. I went down to his dressing room and he pulled out a guitar and I was playing Ain't Talking About Love. And he showed me how to do it the right way. It was awesome.
It's weird that you guys are reinforcing the fact that this movie came out 31 years ago, because number one, it doesn't feel like that. Number two, it ages very little. You can still watch it today, you can put kids in front of it today, and they'll have the same reaction they did when I was a little bit younger and saw the same film. Martin Cove, William Zabka, Ralph Macchio, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much.
And then we pass it up.